Tom Selleck's private life hidden from cameras.
I've been very lucky, and I've had some ups and downs.
It's scary. I got my first regular job when I was 35.
What hardships shaped Tom Selleck as a man?
I have a great family, and I grew up in a very strong family unit.
Tom owes everything he has to his mom and dad.
She's been my mother of the year for, 41 years.
I locked myself in the bathroom, and I don't think I came out for a good hour.
And to see her come out with a big smile and say, "You were great," that's where I got my acting ability.
Selleck even put everything on the line for his daughter.
She got viral pneumonia, I remember.
His 33-year marriage started with cats.
I was fascinated by this one kitten on stage.
But is it true that his first wife ended up in jail?
Kids don't drink or smoke or swear. They could grow up and look like you.
Yes.
First, let's go back to Tom Selleck's childhood.
I have a great family, and I grew up in a very strong family unit. Not necessarily the kind of family that was running around with their arms around each other saying, "You're wonderful," or how much we loved each other.
Tom's parents instilled their values in him.
I was an easy
Thank
birth,
you.
wasn't I?
Yes, you were.
But Tom wasn't always an exemplary kid. His mom still remembers how he scared her with a mouse.
And they were old enough to know better. But they did this, and I screamed. Everybody in the neighborhood could hear me, but I locked myself in the bathroom, and I don't think I came out for a good hour.
Martha Selleck supported her son since day one.
It wasn't a real expensive movie, and to see her come out with a big smile and say, "You were great," that's where I got my acting ability.
That's why Tom saw her as a role model.
She's just kind of always been there and been very fair, even when she said, "Wait till your father gets home." I mean, it was usually for good reason.
Tom's father had his own parenting tricks. Robert Selleck made a bet with his children.
If you don't drink or smoke or swear by the time you're age 21, I'm going to give you a gold watch.
Wasn't a gold watch, but Tom received the prize.
It was a kind of family tradition. My dad's father gave him a watch, and I did pretty good. Every so often I must have lost my temper. And I swore a little bit, but I didn't drink or smoke.
That's why he thinks it's crucial to say no.
I think it's important for kids today to realize it's not so bad. Say no.
You should do this, despite peer pressure.
You can say no and your friends will still like you. It just makes you a little different, maybe even a little special.
Selleck taught his own kids these valuable lessons. Tom's daughter, Hannah, became a gifted equestrian. But he still remembers how she got sick in childhood.
She got viral pneumonia, I remember.
It happened right after his Magnum PI fame.
I went away after being on another location, and she was out of the hospital, but I didn't like that. So I didn't take as long off as you.
Actually, Tom retired from acting for about 3 years. He was afraid, but he did it for the sake of his family.
Oh, it's scary. I got my first regular job when I was 35, so, I gotta work. The work's here now, and every actor thinks that their last job is their last job, so it was hard, but it worked.
Selleck also adopted a son from his first marriage. Kevin Selleck used to be a musician, but now keeps private. His mom is model Jacqueline Ray, who Tom divorced in 1982. She went to jail for hiring a hitman on her son-in-law. Tom doesn't talk about that part of his past. Jilly Mack became his second wife and the love of his life.
Well, I didn't get to meet her, but I was fascinated by this one kitten on stage. Right. She looked good in a leotard, but she had so much personality, which my wife has.
He fell in love with her after seeing her in Cats.
She told me this later. She's dancing and singing, and she's very professional. She doesn't break the fourth wall, the people. And somebody told her at the intermission, they said to her, "Do you know who's watching you?"
Jilly's answer actually won Selleck's heart.
And she said no, and they told her I refused to refer to myself in the third person.
Right, they said to
she said, who's that?
They've been happily married ever since 1987. Now, Tom Selleck is 75 and has no plans to retire. He learned lessons even from his biggest mistakes.
I've been very lucky, and I've had some ups and downs and some specific things that people say, boy, what a terrible break. But if you really look at the overall thing, I couldn't have been much luckier
Not with Tom
than I've
Selleck.
been.
His roles in Blue Bloods and Magnum P.I. inspired generations. But the most important thing for Tom is his family. Whether it's his 2 kids or his beautiful wife. What inspires you about Tom Selleck the most?